The house stood at the edge of a forgotten village, where the roads were cracked and the trees leaned like tired old men. Inside, at the center of the largest room, was a common pechka, an enormous stone stove built into the wall. It wasn't beautiful. It was practical, heavy, and strangely permanent, as if the house had been built around it instead of the other way around. The landlord only said, "It still works if you ever need it," and then quickly changed the subject. But no one ever used it. Not in the beginning. Still, every person who stepped inside the house felt the same thing. The stove felt aware, like it was waiting. The first night was colder than expected. The wind pressed against the windows, and the house creaked like it was adjusting to new lungs. At midnight, the temperature inside the room changed. The common pechka was warm. Not slightly warm, actively warm, like it had just been fed fire. The family checked it, confused. There was no wood, no ash stirred, no sign of heat. Yet the warmth pulsed slowly, like breathing. The youngest child sat up in bed and whispered, "It's awake." Everyone laughed nervously, but no one slept deeply that night. On the third night, the sound began. 3 knocks. Pause. 2 knocks. It came from inside the stove. At first, the father assumed it was settling stone or wind trapped in the chimney. He knocked back once, embarrassed by his own imagination. The response came immediately. 3 knocks. Pause. 2 knocks. Exactly the same. The child stopped laughing after that ... comma. He stopped speaking before bed, and every night at exactly 3:13 a.m., he would sit upright, staring at the dark stove, and whisper, "It's practicing." By the 4th day, the family decided to leave for a while. The house no longer felt like a shelter. It felt like a container, but when they tried the front door, it wouldn't open. The lock clicked. The handle turned. The wood didn't move. The father checked the hinges, the frame, the foundation. Nothing made sense. The door simply refused to be a door. Behind them, from the center of the house, the common pechka gave a slow, deep crack, like laughter buried in stone. That night, the father finally opened the stove. It took force. Metal screamed. Dust fell like old skin. When the door gave way, a wave of heat poured out, thick and suffocating. Inside there was only ash, but in the ash there were footprints, small ones, bare feet. They didn't come in, they went deeper, disappearing into the narrow opening of the chimney. The father stared too long, and for a moment he thought he saw the ash shift upward, like something was still climbing. After the stove was opened, the house changed. The walls stopped being silent. At night, they began to exhale slow, heavy breaths like lungs filling and releasing behind plaster. The knocking stopped coming from the stove. Now it came from everywhere, inside the walls, under the floorboards, above the ceiling. The child began smiling in his sleep, as if listening to a song no one else could hear. On the 6th night, the common pechka lit itself. No wood, no match, no sound, just a slow red glow spreading through the stone like veins waking up. The heat was unbearable, yet no one could move away from it. Inside the stove, a message appeared in ash. "We remember who sleeps here." On the 7th night, the knocking returned, but from above, from inside the chimney, something was descending slowly. The child whispered. It learned the way out. The common pechka flared bright red, and something began to step down into the room. The house was silent, but not empty. The common pechka still gave off a faint, strange heat. As if something inside had not fully left, the family stood frozen, afraid to move. The walls felt like they were still watching them. Then, outside, a car stopped. The landlord had returned. He walked in calmly, as if he already knew what was wrong. Without a word, he took out an old key and opened the front door. Cold air rushed inside. He looked at the glowing stove, sighed, and said quietly, "I shouldn't have given you this house. Forgive me." He stepped closer to the common Petchka, whispered something under his breath, and the glow slowly faded. The strange sounds in the house disappeared. The house felt normal again, but wrong, like it had just been pretending to be alive. "Leave now," the landlord said. "Don't come back." The family didn't wait. They ran outside into the night and got into their car. As they drove away, the youngest child looked back through the window. The house stood dark and still, but for a moment he thought he saw something behind the chimney, watching them leave. Then it was gone, and the house stayed silent. For now,